A week ago, almost nobody would have predicted this. One player was fighting to keep her season alive. The other was trying to prove that recent setbacks didn't define her future. Now, somehow, their paths have collided in Berlin, and the result could become one of the most fascinating matches of the entire grass court season. Because this isn't just a first-round match. It's a collision between momentum and memory. It's a battle between a champion who suddenly rediscovered her best tennis and a rising star who already knows exactly how to beat her. And that's what makes this story so dangerous. Donna Vekić wasn't even supposed to be part of the conversation. She arrived at Queen's Club, lost in qualifying, and watched her hopes disappear before the tournament had truly begun. For most players, that would have been the end of the week. A disappointing loss. A quiet trip home. Another chapter in a season that wasn't going according to plan. But then something happened. While she was already preparing to leave, a phone call changed everything. A withdrawal opened a spot in the draw. Suddenly, the door that had slammed shut cracked open again. Most people never get a second chance. Vekic got one. And she treated it like her last. What followed felt less like a tennis tournament and more like a movie script. Match after match, she kept winning. Opponents who were supposed to stop her couldn't find answers. Former world number ones fell. Home favorites fell. Big names fell. The deeper she went, the more dangerous she became. By the time she reached the final, she looked nothing like the player who had failed to qualify days earlier. She looked unstoppable. Then came Emma Raducanu. A packed crowd. Massive expectations. A chance to win the biggest grass court title of her career. And Vekic didn't just win. She dominated. The opening set disappeared in a blur. The ball exploded off her racket. Her serve became a weapon. Her confidence became visible. Every shot carried the authority of someone who had suddenly remembered exactly who she was. When the final point landed, she stood there holding a WTA 500 trophy that seemed impossible just a week earlier. The comeback was complete. Or so everyone thought. Because the celebration barely had time to end. The next challenge was already waiting. Berlin. A bigger stage. A stronger field. More pressure. And a first-round opponent who had already beaten her twice. That's where the story takes a fascinating turn. The Berlin Tennis Open isn't a warm-up event. It's one of the final opportunities for elite players to sharpen their games before Wimbledon. The draw is packed with world-class talent. Every round feels like a final. Every mistake gets punished. In a tournament filled with stars, one particular matchup immediately stood out. Donna Vekić versus Alex Eala. At first glance, the narrative seems obvious. One player arrives carrying a trophy. The other arrives carrying questions. But tennis is rarely that simple. And beneath the surface, this matchup hides a very different reality. Because rankings don't tell the whole story. Momentum doesn't tell the whole story. Even recent results don't tell the whole story. The hidden detail is this. Alex Eala has already solved the Vekic puzzle. Twice. Earlier this season, they met in Auckland. Vekic looked in control. She captured the opening set and appeared headed toward victory. Most players would have faded from that position. Eala didn't. Instead, she started making adjustments. Small ones. Almost invisible ones. A return landed a little deeper. A rally lasted a little longer. A pattern began to emerge. Point by point, game by game, she slowly turned the match around. Not through overwhelming power. Not through spectacular winners. Through persistence. Through patience. Through pressure. Eventually, the balance shifted. Eala won. Then, only days later, she beat Vekic again. Different match. Same result. 2 encounters. 2 victories. And suddenly a psychological advantage was born. What makes Eala so difficult for Vekic isn't simply talent. It's style. Left-handed players create problems that statistics don't always capture. Angles feel different. Serves arrive differently. Patterns become unfamiliar. Against many opponents, these differences are manageable. Against certain opponents, they become decisive. And Vekic has repeatedly struggled with them. Eala's ability to redirect pace forces aggressive players into uncomfortable situations. Instead of allowing them to dictate, She makes them hit one extra ball. Then another. Then another. And sometimes that's all it takes. But before anyone crowns Eala the favorite, there's another side to this story. A side that cannot be ignored. Because Eala enters Berlin carrying her own uncertainty. Just days after winning Birmingham, she suffered a brutal defeat. The loss wasn't close. It wasn't competitive. It was the kind of defeat that forces athletes to ask difficult questions. Suddenly, the player who had looked unstoppable on grass appeared vulnerable again. The confidence built through victory collided with the reality of elite competition. And now nobody knows which version of Alex Eala will walk onto the court in Berlin. Will it be the fearless champion who fought back from a set down to lift a trophy? Or the hesitant player who struggled to impose herself against overwhelming pace? That uncertainty changes everything. Because Vekic's current form shares some similarities with the style that troubled Eala. Big serving. First strike tennis. Relentless aggression. If Eala allows herself to become passive, Berlin could become a very short afternoon. But what nobody realizes at first is that there is one crucial difference. The player who defeated Eala recently thrives on movement. Vekic doesn't. Her game is built differently. She wants short points. Quick exchanges. Immediate control. When everything is working, she's devastating. When opponents force her into extended rallies, cracks can appear. And that's exactly where Eala becomes dangerous. The longer points last, the more the balance begins to shift. The challenge, of course, is that grass doesn't naturally favor long rallies. Grass rewards aggression. It rewards serving. It rewards players willing to take risks. And few players have embraced those conditions better than Donna Vekić. For years, this surface has brought out her best tennis. Her flat strokes stay low. Her serve becomes even more effective. Her ability to finish points quickly becomes amplified. On grass, the gap between the rankings and reality often becomes enormous. A player ranked outside the top 50 can suddenly perform like a top 10 star. And that's exactly what Vekic has been doing. Yet Eala's grass court credentials are growing rapidly as well. This isn't an inexperienced newcomer hoping for a miracle. She has won titles on the surface, reached significant finals, produced major results against elite opposition. Every season, her comfort level increases. Every season, her confidence grows. And perhaps most importantly, every season she looks more convinced that she belongs among the sport's biggest names. That belief matters, especially in matches like this. Because eventually, every tactical discussion leads back to one central question. Can Alex Eala neutralize Donna Vekic's serve? Everything revolves around that battle. If Vekic serves the way she did during her title run, the match becomes incredibly difficult for Eala. Free points appear. Pressure disappears. Momentum builds. The rallies stay short. The danger grows. But if Eala can consistently put returns back in play, everything changes. Suddenly Vekic must hit another shot. Then another. Then another. And history suggests that's where doubts begin creeping in. Not immediately. Not dramatically. Quietly. A missed forehand. A tentative second serve. A double fault at the wrong moment. Tiny moments that slowly alter the direction of a match. And then there's another factor nobody can measure accurately. Fatigue. Championship runs are beautiful. They're also exhausting. Winning 5 matches in 6 days creates a cost. Travel creates a cost. Pressure creates a cost. Adrenaline hides those costs temporarily. But eventually the bill arrives. The question is whether Berlin arrives before that bill does. Vekic is carrying years of professional mileage. Injuries. Surgeries. Thousands of matches. Countless hours on court. Experience gives her advantages. But experience also leaves marks. Eala enters this match from the opposite end of the spectrum. She's younger, fresher, still climbing, still discovering new levels. Recovery comes easier. Energy comes easier. The body responds differently. Whether that becomes decisive remains to be seen. Because tennis isn't played on paper. It's played in moments. One break point, one tiebreak, one missed opportunity, one fearless winner. That's why this match feels impossible to predict with certainty. There are convincing arguments for both players. Vekic possesses momentum, confidence, and perhaps the best grass-court tennis she's played in years. Eala possesses youth, freshness, tactical advantages, and the knowledge that she has already beaten this opponent twice. Both women enter believing they can win, and both women have legitimate reasons to believe it. What makes this matchup special isn't simply the tennis. It's the psychology. Somewhere deep in Vekic's mind exists the memory of those previous defeats. Whether she acknowledges it publicly or not, it's there. Athletes remember. Competitors remember. The toughest losses leave fingerprints. At the same time, Eala carries something equally powerful: belief. The quiet confidence that comes from experience. Not hope. Not optimism. Evidence. She has stood across the net from Donna Vekić before. She has felt the pressure. She has solved the challenge. And that knowledge changes how a player walks onto the court. As the match approaches, one thing becomes clear. This isn't merely a first-round encounter. It's a test of momentum against history, a test of power against precision, a test of experience against youth, and perhaps most importantly, a test of whether recent success matters more than proven matchup advantages. Soon enough, the talking will stop. The predictions will disappear. The analysis will become irrelevant. Only the grass will remain. Only the pressure will remain. Only the truth will remain. And somewhere between the first serve and the final handshake, one player will discover whether her recent triumph was the beginning of something bigger, or whether the opponent standing across the net has been the answer to her puzzle all along.